fair in love and war. And I don't know if I believe that. I struggle to get that concept, but it's almost like, you know, we need to make things fair for us as well. And they're saying to me there, we need to be fair of face and full of grace. Is that Saturday's child? I don't know why they're saying that, but when we are within grace, okay, we are closest to God. They're saying this, so we must be graceful. We must be graceful and grateful at all times, okay? Because no matter what is coming over this full moon, it is coming as a gift to us, okay? Even if this means we're going to have to let people go within this. It's almost like they're showing us that these people are not there for the rest of our journey, okay? And that doesn't mean there's anything bad. It's, you know, we go off in different tangents. So can you feel or experience what you described, even leading up to this Libra moon and also afterwards? Is that talking to somebody else? I had such a row with a friend last night. I spoke out the truth and it wasn't great. Okay, if you didn't speak with kindness, maybe phone them today and say it in a different way, because what we need to do is respond rather than react. When we react, it comes from our ego. Our ego wants to win. Our ego wants to be better. Our ego wants to be right, okay? Our soul is just like, you know what, this needs to be sorted out, you know, and we can have a conversation rather than conflict, okay? If we can't converse without conflict, then we need to look at who we are conversing with as well, okay? And like I say, people tell you and people show you who they are, you know, despite what they profess to be, you know, if you listen. And this is why it's saying 2 ears, 1 mouth, you know. Be dead canny. Hardest man in tarot. Aye, that's it. Just be canny to everybody. That's Geordie speaking. I love it. It's really nice getting the Geordie. So funny. My flatmate is from London. He started speaking Geordie. It's really funny. I spoke my truth last week and we are now in separation. Good, because you spoke your truth. And if you needed that separation, that is great, because it gives you both time to realize, was that relationship in balance? And if you speaking your truth meant that you had to part, then it wasn't in balance, okay? But you spoke your truth, and that is the main thing. How can you expect anybody else to believe in you if you are not speaking the truth to yourself? Okay, this is what we need to be. We need to be authentic. And the more we're not, the more the struggle we will have. This is what the age of Aquarius is all about. This is what these shifts are about. You know, this is what life is about. It's about these lessons to bring us back to who we originally were and who we've just forgotten that we are. You know, and everybody wears this mask and it's like, oh, I'll dance to their tune, I'll dance to theirs, I'll whatever. It's like, no, dance to your own fucking tune. You know, it's your music. You know, sing your own song. And when people can, you know, when people like that harmony with it, oh, something with the dogs, that's harmony. When people like that harmony with it, you know, that is when, you know, we will be in harmony. You know, if you think of singers when they sing together and everything fits, it's called harmonizing, isn't it? You know, it's harmonies. And this is what we should be. If somebody's, you know, not on our tune or not on our tone, you know, then we need to find people who are. So I hope that makes sense. Sorry about the crazy. I don't even know what's gone on out there. I'm just going to, excuse me, I knew I shouldn't be drinking Diet Coke, but it was the only thing in the fridge. It was cold and I knew I would be. I always get really, really flustered, and I've got, I don't know if you can see, is the fire still on? Oh God, yeah, it's blazing there, the fire. I don't know if you can see it, so that is why I'm getting hot. So does anybody have anything to say about that? Did that make sense to people? It is really, really warm, and I cannot open the doors because the dogs will jump in, and oh, nobody got anything to say about that. Libra moon, right? Okay then. Well, I will get straight on. Thank you. It does make sense. If it's a true twin, they are learning their lessons too and can return. Yeah, you know what? This is a thing for another day. Okay. This twin flame soulmate stuff like that, I understand it is big buzzwords at the moment, okay? I've spoke to somebody who said, oh, I have 5 twins. No, you don't. You know, it's a rare phenomenon, although it is getting more and more common. You know, it is still rare. And when we put a label on something, what happens is we start to go towards that label rather than seeing things as they actually are, okay? So the thing is, if we look at life as everything is meant to happen, okay, everything is exactly how it's meant to be at this precise moment. When we are looking too far ahead, when we are wanting an outcome, we are in projection and we are in the future, which doesn't exist, okay? The future does not exist at this particular moment. When we are looking back to something that's happened or whatever, we are in the past, and that does not exist now. All that exists now is here. Okay, this moment, you know, today, that is all that actually exists at this moment. And if you think of this like a seesaw, okay, we're talking about balance, we're talking about Libra. So Libra is in the middle, and that seesaw is at a plateau, okay? When we're in the past, it's going down like that, okay? And the future, when we're in the past, and if we're down like that, the future, whatever we want, our goals look so far ahead because they're going higher. When we're in the future and we're projecting too much in the future, we kind of be grounded in the present. You know, our past is still looming over us, and it's going to topple over us, okay? Because we want to get away from it that much. What we need to do is embrace it and see that everything that has happened within our life up until now has formed us and is making us, and it is evolving us and is making us grow. And this is the idea. You know, this is the idea. Everybody we meet, every relationship we have is an assignment. If you look in the Course of Miracles, they are assignments. They're lessons, okay? It's not just so that we feel all in love and all loved up. You know, it's not about that at all. It's about so we can grow to our truest potential, if that makes sense. Sorry, I went off on one then. And like I say, I understand. But people, when they, oh, well, it's my twin and I've got to go through this heartache and I've got to go through this. You haven't surrendered to it. If it is your twin and it's meant to happen, it will do. Nothing you can do can control it. And when we get into control, this is our ego. And this is when we get more uncomfortable. And this is when we make it harder for ourselves, okay? When we push and push and push an outcome. Spirit said to me the other day, don't push, pull. Pull the power of that situation in yourself and make yourself stronger. When we're pushing and pushing and pushing, we're giving energy to something else, okay, that we cannot move. We have no control over it. So we need to just pull the energy of this situation into ourselves and know that we will handle it, because that is our mission and that is what we've got to do. Okay, so let go of the stories, the past and the future stories. You are not your story, and we at any given time can rewrite our book. Okay, we can change our story. We are the creator, we are the writer of our story. Okay, so don't think that, oh, well, that's how it's meant to be. No, it's not. We can change it. And this is the problem that is going to be highlighted within this Libra moon. It's people saying, oh yeah, well, I've made my bed, I've got to lie on it. No, you haven't. You know, you've made your bed, you can always make another one. Don't think just because you've settled or you've made this decision that has to be final. Life is always change, and we are changing at every given moment. I am not the person I was 2 years ago. I'm not the person I was 5 years ago. I'm not the person I was 10 years ago. And I'm not the person I will be in 3 years' time. You know, so accept that we are changing. So I hope that makes sense. Libra and Mars, we are people pleasers, which is bad. Yeah, but this is about pleasing yourself. This is what this song is. This song, I don't know why they said the song. This moon is about as well. You know, this is what it's about. You know, about pleasing ourselves, but being kind to others in the process. And sometimes being kind to somebody is letting them go. You know, there's somebody I read the other day made a great post, and it was about, you know, about our children, you know, not letting our children hear swear words, but it was like, but we allow our children to see and witness so many other things. We allow them to see us unhappy. We allow them to see us, you know, using alcohol as a crutch and things like that, you know, and we don't realize that is as damaging and our children. as the present. I know my daughter, she just got a first in her university in her final year, and she phoned me and thanked me, and she said, "Mum, thank you so much for making the decision to leave my other parent, you know, when you did, because I don't think I would be the person that I am now if you had have stayed." And you know, it was beautiful for that to actually be acknowledged, you know. I love that you can make another bed. Yeah, of course you can make another bed. You know what I mean? That's the fun of it. look at in Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You know, they tried the beds. That one's too hard. That one's just soft. That one's just right. So sometimes, yes, sometimes, you know, letting go of that person is actually coming from a place of love. I love music, as most of you know, and there's a great singer-songwriter who I feel is one of the greatest singer-songwriters of our time, and he's called Keaton Henson, and he has a song called Lying to You. And the first time I actually heard that, I burst into tears, and his lyrics are amazing. And it's this guy who's lying next to this girl who they're in a relationship, and he's not really in love with her. He's there because it's something, but he doesn't really want to be there. The person he wants isn't there. And she knows this, but she's totally in love with him. So she's putting it there. And I cried because I was like, you know what? I have been both people in that song before. And there is nothing worse than being with somebody who you know is not there and not present and not able to give you the love that you need of them, you know, whether you're giving it to them or not, you know. And there's nothing worse than feeling that you have to be with somebody because you're responsible for their happiness at the cost of your own, because it will cost you dear. You know, it will cost you dear. So I hope this is kind of making sense. This is all tying in, you know. Thank you for your input there, because this is all tying in with what this Libra moon is about, okay? And we need this balance. You know, if we're balancing on, wow, I've just looked down and there's one of my tarot cards lying there. And look, it's that one. If we're balancing on a ball and, you know, juggling all this stuff to make other people happy, that is going to be popped. That is the Libra moon there. It's going to pop that ball and everything may come crashing down. But that is the idea. That is how it's meant to be, okay? So like I say, if everything is in balance and everything's perfect, you're going to be fine and fly through it. If things are out of balance, then, poof, you know, expect a little bit of issues. So, oh, shit, I think my house is on fire. I think the fire's going a little bit too. Oh, wow, right, okay, I don't know what to do about that. I can't even shout at Pete because I cannot walk. Oh, my life. Right, okay, so I think I better get quickly on with these readings. If any of you see flames coming up behind me, please let me know. So I've got to get out, please. Wow, it's really, really burning. I put quite a few logs on it before I started these readings, just so I didn't have to get up and do it during the readings. And I think I put a bit too much on. Campo life, I will get used to it eventually. You see, that's the balance, you know. I've tried to have the tried to keep warm, and I'm sweating. Right, okay, so we'll start with Aries, okay? Starting with Aries. Aries. What is this moon illuminating? Thanks, Robin. I once done that, you know. I was once at this gig this gig was in like a warehouse. Like I say, you know, when I lived in England, I used to go to a lot of gigs, and I was standing, and this guy I know came over to me, and he went, "Oh," he says, "You're smoking tonight, Tanya." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And he went, No, you're smoking." And I was standing, there was a heater behind me, and my skirt was actually on fire. I thought this was just, I thought I was just getting a compliment. Thank you, Hilary. I'm pleased you like my messages. Yeah. Right, okay. You're going to enter my soul now. Okay, be careful, mind. There's a lot going on in there, old man Bob. Oh, God. Come to Florida, yeah. Can you see? I'm starting to get hot here. Right, okay. Okay. So Aries, I'm going to concentrate. Aries. What is this new moon, this full moon, sorry, going to illuminate, and what should your action be? What is your advice? He didn't start the fire yet. Who was that? Who sang that? Was it Bruce Springsteen that? No, he sang I'm on Fire, didn't he? Right. Oh, God. Fires are okay, yeah? Fires are meant to, like, sort of log burners are actually meant to keep the, yeah, Billy Joel, log burners are meant to keep the fire in. They don't allow it to come out of it. I don't know if you can see it. Has it gone all smoky and that in here as well? Wow. Right, okay. I think I'm going to have to open the door in a second. Right. Oh, Aries. I feel this is going to, yeah, this full moon is going to be a bit of a tricky one for you as well. Okay. And I want to say to you, Aries, please, your message, and please, please take heed with this, is please try and relinquish control over this time, control over your relationships. Please try and not control anybody. Please try and not take control of a situation as well, okay, because this could cost you dear. Okay, I feel that there is old emotional wounds that are going to be presented into your present relationships, and it might not be pretty if you don't kind of do this with kindness. Okay, I feel this is around personal relationships. So when I'm saying personal relationships, I mean romantic relationships. Okay, and it's almost, you don't have to be in control of them. Okay, if something is happening, talk it through, converse. Okay, you can make this work by working together. Okay, if you try and take the lead in this, you could see that somebody leaves. Okay, so please, Aries, keep your cool. That's saying that when I'm sitting here going to roasting. Keep your cool. Okay, please don't argue about money or finances, because you have bigger riches than them. This is what is coming in. Okay, and there could be, it's almost like you could say one little cutting remark and bang, everything blows up. Okay, so please be kind. Somebody is showing you your heart. Somebody loving and kind towards you. Please accept this and be kind back. Okay, and keep your words kind. The magic can happen, and you can